Good morning. In earlier class, we discussed the design of connecting rod. So in today's class, let us go with an example problem, that is a design of connecting rod. So here it is given specifications. So for the given specification, we need to calculate or determine the dimensions for connecting rod, or you can give the design for connecting rod. So let us see. So design of high-speed petrol engine connecting rod for the following specifications. So the piston diameter is given. So here, so it is a given data. So the piston diameter is denoted by capital D. So it is 100 mm, and the stroke length is 138 mm. And mass of connecting rod, it is a mass of reciprocating parts, so it is denoted by Mr. So it is 1.8 kg. So and length of connecting rod, so we can denote with the capital L, so 310 mm. And maximum gas pressure, so we denote the maximum gas pressure capital P, so 2.45 Newton per mm square. And the speed 2500 rpm, and bearing pressure for big end and small end, so that is a big end cap, so that is a crank pin end, so we denote with the PBC, so that is 7 megapascal, so you can simply written as Newton per mm square. And bearing pressure at piston pin, that is a small end, so it is given 14 megapascal. So this is the given data given in the problem. So for the given specifications, we need to design. So a part of these data, they are mentioned, so you can also assume the some of the data if you want to go with the design. So you can assume the any other data required for suitable design. Clear? So let us go to the let us see the design of connecting rod with the. So in design, so first of all, we need to calculate, that is step number 1 in the design. So the dimensions of cross section of connecting rod. So here the cross section is not mentioned in the data, so we can need to specify the appropriate proportions for that. So I am taking it is an I section, so considering it is an I section for connecting rod. So with thickness of flanges, so top flange as well as the bottom flange as T, and thickness of web is also T. So this is the section I consider for connecting rod. So and we need to specify the appropriate proportions for that. So I can take width as a 4 times of thickness of web, so B equal to 40, and the height of the web capital H we can denote with taken as 5 times of T. So for our assumed taken proportions, we need to check whether the ratio of Ixx by Iyy, that is the buckling strength about x-axis and y-axis should be in between. So we know the relation by equating the buckling strength about Ixx and Iyy. If you can equate, so it may be given Ixx equal to 4 times of Iyy, so that is usually we are taken 3 to 3.5 times. So for our taken proportions, we need to check whether so our taken proportion, that is our considered proportions, is it satisfying the statement or not, that is in between 3 to 3.5. so we need to calculate Ixx and as well as Iyy for these proportions. So after that we can check whether our specified proportions are in between these range or not. So initially we need to check with the data, so that is a ratio of Ixx and Iyy for this cross section, considered cross section. So if you calculate the Ixx for this section, so you can calculate the Ixx, so you may get the 419 by 12 T power 4. So similarly, so you can calculate Iyy, it may be given 131 by 12 T power 4. So this is the Ixx and Iyy values will be get for these selected cross section. So using that I can calculate find out the ratio of Ixx by Iyy, that is given as 3.2. So this is check with the statement, so that is mentioned here, you can usually take in the ratio between 3 to 3.5, so that so we are our calculated value of Ixx by Iyy ratio is 3.2, so which means it is in the range of 3 to 3.5, so that whatever the condition we are stating, so that our proportions, that is whatever the section we are considered, that is satisfies the ratio of 3 to 3.5. So our calculated value of ratio of Ixx and Iyy is 3.2, which is in the range of 3 to 3.5. So this is cross section, that is our considered cross section is satisfactory to calculate the dimensions, that is to withstand in terms of buckling. So clear? So first of all, so we need to calculate the maximum load to find out the cross section dimensions, like T is a thickness and then width B and height H. So first of all, you can calculate the maximum gas load for that. So maximum gas load, so we can denote with the Fg. So it is calculated by pi by 4 d square into P. So the cylinder diameter is given, capital D, as well as the maximum gas pressure is also given. So you can substitute both the values, so you may get around so maximum gas load is given by 19.24 kilonewtons, so that is into 10 cube newtons. I can calculate by substituting the values of capital D and maximum gas pressure. You may get the load, maximum gas load. So after finding out the maximum gas load, we can calculate so we know that the dimensions are determined by means of buckling. So we need to write the statement clearly here. So the dimensions of cross section are determined. So that is what the statement we are written in the design procedure, are determined considering as a strut subjected to compressive forces, STRUT, strut subjected to compressive force, and buckling effect can be taken. So buckling about x-axis, that is in plane of rotation, then using, so here you can need to remember this, what is the equation we are going to calculate, that is a Rankine equation. So using Rankine's equation, so that is a Rankine's equation. So WB equal to sigma C into capital A by 1 plus small a into L by Kxx whole square. So this is the buckling load equation using the Rankines. So that is a Rankine's equation. Buckling load is given by sigma C into A by 1 plus A into L by Kxx whole square. So where sigma C and small a, you can take it from data book, table is present. From that, based upon the type of material they mentioned in the problem, so you can take the value of sigma C and the small a. So and then a capital A, that is the cross sectional area of this there is our considered cross section. It is can calculate as in 3 rectangles, it may be given 11t square, and Kxx, it is also available in data book, so it is given 1.78t. So these both the values can also taken as data book. So that is sigma C, capital A, small a, and Kxx, you can take it from data book, and L is equal to the length of connecting rod, that is capital L, 310 mm, and WB we need to calculate maximum gas load, sorry, buckling load. So that is given by buckling load WB equal to, so that is Fg into FOS. So Fg, that is a maximum gas load that you are already calculated here, so 19.24 kilonewtons, and factor of safety can taken in between 5 to 6 times. So I can consider a factor of safety as 5. So by substituting the values of factor of safety 5 and maximum gas load 19.24 kilonewtons, so the buckling load it may be 96.21 kilonewtons. So the buckling load is given as 96.21 kilonewtons. So using this buckling equation, buckling load, we can substitute in this equation by substituting all the values. So here kxx in terms of t, small t, and area in terms of t square, and you may get in a quadratic form. So from that you can calculate the thickness of cross section, that is the thickness of web as well as a flange. So small t is around, you may get a 4.8 mm, that is I can take it as a 5 mm. So from that so I may calculate the width 40, so 20 mm, and the height is taken as 5t, 25 mm. And apart of that width and height of the cross section, we can also, so we know that the width of the connecting rod is uniform throughout the length, but the height is going to varies with respect of length. So it having the greater length at the crank pin and compared to the height at the piston pin. So that I need to calculate the height near the, so I can denote with h1 and h2, height near crank pin. So that is I can denote with h1, so it may be taken range from 1.1 h to 1.25 h. So I can take 1.1 times of h, so that the value, sorry, I can take 1.2 h, so it is given as 30 mm. And then height near piston pin, so I can denote with h2 0.75 h2 0.9 h, so I can take 0.85 h, and the height near the piston pin is 22 mm. Clear? So this is the dimensions of cross section of connecting rod, that is up to the step 1. So initially you can calculate the cross section details. So we can specify the I section with the proportions, and initially you can check with this statement, so whether our considered proportions are with satisfying the statement in terms of buckling strength about x-axis and y-axis. So after that you can use the Rankine's equation by considering it as a strut subject to the compressive load, so that the buckling effect may be causes about x-axis, and the Rankine's equation WB is given by sigma c into A by 1 plus small a into L by kxx whole square. So using that buckling load, initially you can calculate the buckling load here. So buckling load WB is given by gas load into factor of safety. Factor of safety taken 5 to 6 times. So using that I may get the thickness and width and height near the crank pin and height near the piston pin. So after finding out the dimensions of connecting rod, so you can calculate the dimensions. The second step in the design, that is dimensions of piston pin and crank pin. So we know that the dimensions of piston pin and crank pin we are denoted with LC and DC of crank pin. So LC, DC or the length and diameter for crank pin, and LP, DP is the length and diameter for piston pin. So this is the dimensions we are going to calculate for determine for dimensions of piston pin and crank pin. So here so for finding out the dimensions of crank pin and piston pin, so we can need to specify clearly, so which forces are going to consider for design. So clear? So here so we can consider, so by equating, so the dimensions are, I can write the statement dimensions of crank and piston pin are determined by equating maximum load acting on connecting rod to the bearing loads or bearing load acting on pins, their corresponding pins. So here the maximum load acting on connecting rod is given by gas load plus inertia force, but here we are neglecting so the inertia force. So inertia force is neglected, so that maximum gas load is equal to Fg. So F max is equal to the maximum gas load. So here the maximum gas load is already calculated here, 19.24 kilonewton. So no need to calculate again here. So you can take directly 19.24 kilonewtons. And this will be equated to the bearing load acting on pins. So first of all, bearing load acting on crank pin. So that is given by bearing pressure. So PBC into DC into LC. So the PBC is given in data 7 megapascal. So and DC you need to calculate, and LC is the length of crank pin. So that you can assume in terms of diameter. So I can assume. So I need to take the assumption. Assume so length of crank pin. So 1.1 times of DC. So we can assume the length in terms of diameter by substituting LC in terms of DC, 1.1 times of DC. So we can substitute in this equation by equating the maximum gas load, that is Fg, to the bearing load. So from that we can calculate the length and diameter. So initially you may get DC here. So DC equal to, so we may get 50 mm, and LC equal to, so I can take 1.1 times of DC, so that LC is given by 555 mm. Clear? Similarly you can also calculate the bearing, that is a piston pin dimensions, bearing load acting on piston pin. So that is PBP into DP into LP. So again bearing pressure acting at piston pin is given, so 14 megapascal, and the diameter of piston pin now we need to determine, and the length of piston pin again we can need to assume in terms of diameter. So LP can be taken as 1.8 times of DP. You can substitute length of piston pin in terms of diameter. So from that so that is Fg equal to, so PBP into DP into LP. So from that we can calculate determine the diameter of piston pin as 28 mm. So and then we are taken the length of piston pin as 1.8 times of DP. So from that length of piston pin is equal to 51 mm. Clear? So these are the dimensions for crank pin and piston pin. So after completion of finding out the dimensions, we go with the step number 3. So that is determining the dimensions of, so that is the size of bolts. So we can denote the size of bolts DCB and DB. So where DCB is the core diameter of bolts and DB is the nominal diameter of bolts. So I can need to determine the size, that is the diameters. So here again I can write the statement, the dimensions of bolts, that is the diameter of bolts, or determined by equating tensile strength of bolts. So here the bolts are subjected to the tensile force. So we can equate the tensile strength of bolts, that is all bolts, tensile strength of all bolts, to the inertia force of reciprocating parts when piston at TDC. So why we are consider the piston at TDC? So there, so we can observe the maximum inertia force. So when the crank angle is theta equal to 0, so that the inertia force acting at due to the reciprocating parts is maximum at that particular condition. So clear? That is so we can calculate the inertia force Fi. So Fi is calculated usually, so you can calculate mr omega square r into, so cos theta plus cos 2 theta by L by R. So theta equal to 0, so that so Fi max, so maximum inertia force is given as mr omega square r into 1 plus r by L. So this is the equation for maximum inertia force. So mr is the mass of reciprocating parts, that is given in data 1.8 kg. So and L is so here I can take an so that is capital L is equal to L. I can take a length of so connecting rod 310 mm, and then so R is the stroke length, so that need to be calculated from the rate R equal to radius of crank. So that is taken another from the relation half the stroke length, that is 138 by 2, so it is around the 90 something mm. So we can calculate radius of crank by substituting all the values in this equation. We may get the inertia force as 10406.51 newtons. So mr is given and omega is the radians per second, that is angular speed of engine 2 pi n by 60. So and r you can calculate from stroke length. So you have the relation the stroke length equal to twice of crank radius. So you can calculate the maximum inertia force, and that will be equated to maximum inertia force equal to tensile strength of bolts, that is a pi by 4 dCb square into sigma tb into nb. So we know that so usually the number of bolts is taken as 2, and then so assuming, so not assumed, it is number of bolts is taken as 2, and assuming the tensile strength of bolts, so that is not given in data. So here I can assume sigma tb as 100 megapascal. So I can substitute both the values of sigma tb and then the number of bolts in the equation by equating with the maximum inertia force, that is Fi max. So that is we are calculated in earlier step. So from that so diameter of core diameter of bolts is given as 9.2 mm, so around. So from that I can calculate the nominal dia of bolts. So that is given dB equal to dCb by 0.84. So it may be around 12 mm you may get, that is the M12 size of bolts we are going to specify for the assembly. So and finally you can calculate the thickness of cap. So here again, that is the thickness of cap is denoted by Tc. So the thickness of cap is calculated or determined by equating. So we need to write the statement here. So it is considered as a simply supported beam and loaded with inertia force, and this magnitude is in between UDL or not completely concentrated load, and the maximum bending moment acting on the beam or the cap is given by F into L dash by 6, and the section modulus ZC is given by BC into TC square by 6. So here the bending stress induced, not induced, it is allowable bending stress you can take, but it is not given. So it can also be assumed. So assumed value of bending stress you can take. So taking the bending stress as 100 Newton per mm square, and you know the relation of bending stress you can take MC by ZC. So from this relation we can calculate the thickness of cap TC. So find so it may be the value is given as 12 mm. So you can check with the values. So we can calculate once again using the values that is mentioned here. So Fi is already calculated, and L dash is the distance between the center of bolts. So that is given as the diameter of crank pin, that is calculated here. So DC plus 2 into thickness of liner taken as 3 mm plus clearance, so that gives the L dash. So we can calculate and substitute in this equation and calculate the moment acting on the cap, and the section modulus of cap, it is considered as a rectangular one. So BC into TC square by 6, and by substituting both the values using the allowable bending stress sigma B, so 100 Newton per mm square, you can calculate the thickness of cap. So after finding out all the dimensions, so starting from the dimensions of cross section of connecting rod and the dimensions of crank pin and piston pin here, so DC and LC, and the dimensions of bolts, that is the core diameter and nominal diameter of bolts, and finally the thickness of cap TC. So after finding out all the dimensions, so we can also need to check the design for our with the induced, that is inertia bending stresses due to inertia of self-weight of connecting rod. So after calculating the inertia bending stress, and that induced bending stress should always less than the given allowable bending stress. So here we assumed the value of 100 Newton per mm square. The same value we need to check with the induced inertia bending stress, that is what whipping stress. So I can calculate the whipping stress. So using the by determining the mass of the connecting rod M1, so that is self weight of connecting rod, that is M1 omega square R into L by 9 root 3, that gives the moment acting on the maximum moment acting in the connecting rod, and section modulus ZXX is 14.8, sorry 14 TQ. So by substituting the values, you can get the sigma B induced bending stress, that is an inertia bending stress or whipping stress, and check with these allowable bending stress of connecting rod, and this that should be less than this value of allowable stress, then only whatever the design we are given here is safe. Otherwise you can also refine the design, or you can modify the design based upon the steps where you can need to be changed. You need to change and verify once again. So you should check after the completion of the design with the whipping stress, then only the design is going to complete. Clear? So you can check and verify with the value of allowable stress whether it is whether the design what you are specified here is it safe or not. Clear? So in the next class we can go with the another main component in the machine, that is IC engine, that is a crankshaft, that we will see in the next class. Thank you.